First of all, I want to thank the HIV Commission for the work that they continue to do in relation to promoting and educating Barbadians about HIV. This is one of the programs run by the Commission in relation to just educating Barbadians about HIV. Of course, this particular program, Man Aware program, allows people to come and get their hair cut, which brings out people, but we use that opportunity to educate children and others appropriately about these things. There are some games over there which also educate the children and get a general gauge as to what Barbadians understand about HIV. HIV is still very real, it's still very prevalent, and I obviously want to use this opportunity to encourage Barbadians to engage in healthy sexual practices. And we have a number of children who came out this morning, also because it's back to school, who were able to get their hair cut as part of the school experience. We're also working with the Live Well Clinic to be able to do health checks, to get your blood pressure checked, the diabetes level, the sugar level, I should say, checked to see if you are prone to diabetes, if you're pre-diabetic, if you're diabetic. And this health check is one of the things that I think is going to be very important for the ministry. You've heard me speak about the pivot that the HIV Commission may make in the next few years in relation to NCDs. And I think it's very important because a number of Barbadians are dealing with non-communicable issues. Some of them becoming life-depriving in circumstances where they could be avoided, where such a circumstance could be avoided. If we get early testing and if we continue to do the things we're supposed to do, like eat right, eat healthy, and make healthy choices. So I want to thank the HIV Commission for this work. I want to thank them for the constant advocacy. But I also feel that the time has come for Barbadians to recognize that the health choices we make in terms of what we eat, and those things also have consequences. And I want to thank the press for coming up. Well, we've just reached out because one of the things that happened during COVID was that all of the medical machinery, truth be told, went into dealing with COVID. So there weren't any numbers coming out for a while. I just received the numbers, but the numbers that we have would be the 2020, last data would be the 2020 data. This was just very recently, I think, the HIV, the unit at the Ministry of Health recently worked on those numbers, but those numbers haven't been made public yet. So I won't be able to tell you that, but I do know the numbers we have are from 2020. But I think regardless of the numbers, the truth is, it is clear to me that we have to be able to engage in sexual practices that are healthy. I think a lot of people think that HIV is no longer there. And a lot of people are behaving as if HIV is no longer real. In many cases, because of the medication that you now have, it's gone from being a life-depriving illness to almost a chronic illness. But it's still very prevalent. And it affects a person's standard of living for sure. So we want to encourage people, regardless of the numbers, to be able to come out, get the health checks, also get tested for HIV. I would have done a public test, I think, earlier this year or last year. I encourage people to go and to do it just to know your status. And if you know your status, then encourage the other persons around you to know their status too. I figure if a man has determined, or a woman, that they have a clean bill of health, then they were less likely to engage in behavior that would make them ill. And if they don't, then they're more likely to get the medication that they will need to prolong their life. So there's a benefit no matter how you look at it.